What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Hagane. Yes, indeed, Hagane Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of April for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, SMB. Hope you enjoy the show. SMB wanted to see me react to this song by Hagane called BlackCult. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second. Yeah, I've heard this song before. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Hagane, no surprise there. And the video has 628,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hagane, BlackCult, official music video. Wah, wah, wah.
Here we go again.
Yeah, there's that word official coming off of their official page. Yep. Look, you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is let's just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh, there we go. Now it's coming. Ooh, fast. a little extra measure to transition from verse to or from pre-chorus into chorus. That's smart. Nice little setup. Easy to do. Super easy to do. But it's not every band does it. And there have been a number of songs I've heard that I felt like the transition between the pre-chorus and the chorus could have been a little bit smoother. And one of the easiest ways to do it, especially when the tempo is fast-paced like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Just add an extra measure. Even just 2 measures of just turn around and fill from the drummer to help go into the chorus just a little bit smoother. They added an extra measure. I think that's really smart. I dig on that. Great job playing around with feel at that faster tempo. Drummer's got that double time feel down pat. I love the fact that she's putting the snare hits on the upbeats, not on the downbeats, but on the upbeats, on the ands of 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like it. It gives the song the illusion of a little extra push without actually going faster, especially when they're already going at a faster tempo. It's very effective. When they do go into the straight time with the snare on 2 and 4, it's like a breather. We get that little breather, that little relaxation. It's like, okay, let's catch our breath because we're going to go back into that double time feel. All right, everybody ready? You guys ready? And boom. They do stay in the straight time feel long enough to get into the groove though, but they cut it close. I think they only stay in that straight time feel for about 4 measures. It's close, but it does work. They do pull it off. The guitar work sounds really clean. The bass sounds good. Vocally, I think this might be the best vocal performance I've heard from her on the channel. I think this might be her strongest vocal work. Really nice, demonstrating great range, power, diction, vowel formation, control, projection, support. I mean, it's all there. It's all there. And not just that, but I mentioned delivery. Sometimes she's singing a little bit softer, a little more reserved, and then out of nowhere, she just belts it with no setup whatsoever. That's nice. I hope she can do that in a live setting. I don't know if they perform this song live. If they do, I'd love to hear it, because if she could do it in a live setting, oh, even better. No, I'm digging everything about this song. I'm absolutely digging everything about it. It's got the speed, it's got the power, it's got the drive, but it's controlled. It's not flying off the handles, it's not flying off the rails. It's definitely controlled and contained. And it's not hard. It's not like it's barely holding on. No, it sounds absolutely restrained, but it's still fast and intense with the power and the delivery behind it. I like everything I'm hearing here. Let's keep going. Let's see how this goes. I'm anticipating a guitar solo within probably the next, I'd say within the next 30 to 45 seconds. I'm willing to bet there's a guitar solo. Let's see if I'm right. Well, there you go. That just happened. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I absolutely enjoyed it. I have no doubt we're going to be in the positives. I just don't know where. I don't think we're going to be down in the 5s and 6s. I don't see that happening. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't see 7s happening either. Maybe high. If we're going to be in the 7s, we're going to be in the very high 7s. Probably 8s. Man, 9s? Maybe. Possible. It's got the potential. Let me get my thoughts together, and I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Hagane with BlackCult. This was a request from SMB, and this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of April for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, SMB. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, I said during the course of the reaction, I did make this statement, and whenever I make statements like this, I always, sometimes, okay, not always, but sometimes when I make statements like this, I'll go back and I'll rethink everything and I'll put everything in perspective, and I regret making statements like this. And the statement I made was, this might be, or I think it was something to the effect of, this might be the best song I've heard from this group. This might be the best song, the best songwriting I've heard from this group. And whenever I make statements like that, without really giving it 100% thought, just going off half-cocked like that, sometimes I end up eating it, and I end up, sticking my foot in my mouth and regretting it later. That's not the case here. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.7. Yup, 8.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.7. What does that mean? Well, an 8.7 would translate to a great skill rating. So overall, I think this is a great song. It would get 4 to 5 stars and an A letter grade. Yes, an A. So there you go, an 8.7, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I was getting some pretty strong parallels between this song and a number of songs that I've heard from Love Bites and a couple of songs that I've heard from Fake Gear. A lot of parallels. First and foremost, the speed, the tempo of this song. Fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's a pushing tempo. And on top of that, I would say about 80% of the song was done in that double time feel with the snare on the upbeats, which really helps give it the illusion of giving it even more speed than it's actually getting. It makes it feel like it's getting a little extra push, even though it's really not. And when you have those guitars going on those 16th note patterns, the whole time, it's yeah, it's fast. But it's being done clean. It's being done very clean. So you gotta give them credit for that more than anything else. The melodics sounded really good. The melodic lines sounded really good. And the harmonic lines, not overly used. They did use them, yes, but they used them very tastefully and not too often. Sometimes when you have bands like this that utilize those, dual harmonics, the melodic and the harmonic lines, especially within the guitars or guitar and keyboard, it can be overdone sometimes. It can be like, okay, well, you've done that for 3/4 of the song. What else are you going to do? You know what I mean? So that was not the case here. That when they did use them, they used them sparingly and they used them very tastefully in key points. And I absolutely appreciated that. Even the guitar solo, I mean, a good chunk of the guitar solo yes, both guitar players were going, and I guess technically you can call this harmonics, but it wasn't really harmonics. They were playing in octaves. You know, they were both playing the exact same notes at the exact same time, just an octave apart. And it sounded, I hate to say it, but it sounded kind of refreshing. You know, when you don't have, you know, let's step away from the thirds. You know, let's step away from those minor third harmonics. You know, minor thirds to major thirds, or, you know, minor thirds to fourths. You know, let's step away from that. Let's do something a little bit different than what we typically hear from harmonizing guitar solos. So that was a refreshing thing. Bass sounded really good in this. The bass tone coming through clear as day. I didn't really have to search very hard. I mean, I had to look a little bit, but I was able to find the bass really quick a number of times throughout the song. And that little 2-measure bass riff that she got, that was kind of nice. The drumming on this was immaculate. I mean, absolutely immaculate. Some really nice fill work for utilizing to transition from phrase to phrase. And speaking of those transitions, I gotta tip the cap to them for being okay with adding an extra measure or two whenever you want to transition from like the pre-chorus to the chorus. So many bands I've heard that have this, I don't even know why. Maybe it's just because this is the way they were taught music, but you know, they have this impression that they can't add extra measures. And I'm sorry.
I respectfully disagree.
You absolutely can add extra measures, especially for transitions like that, where you're coming out of phrase to phrase, like chorus into pre-chorus. Well, maybe not so much, okay. I meant to say verse, like verse into pre-chorus. Maybe not so much there, but pre-chorus into chorus, absolutely. Chorus going back into the main riff, absolutely. Makes perfect sense in both of those aspects. I have no issue with it. I have no problem with it. As long as it makes sense and as long as it sounds good. And every time they did it, made perfect sense. The high point of this song, though, without question, the most impressive aspect of this song, vocals. This, in my opinion, okay, this is just my own humble opinion here, but in my opinion, this was the strongest vocal work I've heard from her on the channel. Now, granted, we've only had, this is my fourth reaction to Hagane on the channel. I think this is my third or fourth. I think it's fourth. But without question, this is the strongest vocal work I've heard from her. Not so much from the range was definitely impressive for her. I don't think I've ever heard her get up that high before, but beyond that, her delivery, her power, her projection, her diction, her vowel formation, her tone. I mean, it was all there in spades. And when it came to the power and the delivery, sometimes she was able to back off a little bit when the song called for it. And then when the song called for her to belt it, she belted it. And one of the most impressive things about her vocals, and I absolutely love this, she's not one of these vocalists who rely on vibrato. She's able to hold a note clean, just flat line, no wavering, no going sharp, no going flat. And she doesn't have to hide it with vibrato to, hide it. So I appreciate that about her. I really do. That really shows talent, to be able to sing a note flatline without any sharp or flat to it. Granted, I know it's a studio recording, and I'm sure there was probably some, auto-tune utilized. Yeah, sure. But I'll tell you what, if she can do it in a live setting, then, case closed, But I really liked what I heard here. It was a fun ride and a very enjoyable listen. And 8.7, yeah, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.7, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.